When it comes to real estate, we'll refer you to this morning's guest. Who is he? You'll meet him. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Bell & Bell, Buick, Pontiac, GMC, the intersection of Highway 9 and 31 at the Big Red Bell. We're focused on Herald Real Estate and its broker in charge, Kent Strobel. Good morning, Kent.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me.
To highlight this exciting kickoff of a new venture there, Herald Real Estate, in your new position as broker in charge, as well as a new columnist in the Myrtle Beach Herald. It's a big Myrtle Beach Herald week. Tomorrow, Donald Smith will be with us talking about Lucky Dog Television Productions and PR Smith, and a little bit about what happens with this show, The Carolina People. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm really excited about the opportunity to write the articles for the Myrtle Beach Herald. The interviewing process has really been a lot of fun so far.
Oh, yeah.
Many of the people whom I'm interviewing I have known for many years, but only on a professional level. And
right.
through these interviews, I've gotten to know them a lot more personally than I did before.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a real good opportunity for me, as well as the launching of this new real estate company, which is a very, very exciting thing. That,
absolutely.
I think the potential there is unlimited.
Absolutely. As we like to say, the potential is exponential.
Right.
The potential is exponential. I'll give Gordon Hirsch credit for that. He came up with that phrase. But the excitement here, Kent, for you, the Realtor of the Week is literally just kicked off. You had your third one that's on newsstands now?
That's correct. That's on the newsstands now. I interviewed Marvin Hyde, who is a broker in charge with Prudential, Burris & Chapin.
Right.
And he's a real exciting guy, and I hope that people will enjoy reading about it.
Oh, yeah, sure. And they can see it online at myrtlebeachherald.com, or if they visit realtoroftheweek.com, it redirects right there to Myrtle Beach Herald. They can see his interview as well as your first two.
Right.
Who were those, Kent?
The first two that I did were Travis Miller, who's a broker in charge of Exit Grand Strand Properties, and I
right.
believe we did him on June the 28th.
Right, right.
And then after that, I did Cecil Granger,
yes.
who is the broker-owner of Remax Properties in Conway.
Sure.
And I think his came out
July 5,
on
right.
the 5th of July.
Right, the day after the 4th, yeah.
Right. So now we currently have Marvin Hyde on the newsstands at this time.
Sure.
And it's been real exciting for me to interview these folks, and what we hope to bring to this Realtor of the Week column is the opportunity to let people know about the people, not
sure,
just
sure.
Some real estate licensee with a bunch
right.
of designations, but also some things about them personally. And it's been very gratifying to me to learn of the other people in my profession
sure.
who are giving back to the community. And so
yes.
many of them are involved in civic organizations and civic affairs and actually do things for the community, and they aren't just someone out there trying to sell a house and get a check.
Great point. Yeah.
So this is important to me.
You talked about Marvin Hyde's involvement with the Sockasty Recreation Commission.
Yeah, that's correct, and that's better than a $10 million project that he's been involved in for basically the last 10 years, and that has been his focus and his passion and his hobby
sure.
That he's been involved with. So Marvin, again, is a very interesting guy who is a homegrown person. His family has been in Horry County for like a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
So he really does know the area and really does want to be involved in the community.
Right.
So I hope that everybody will enjoy that article that's on the stand right now.
And Terry Cooper, I know, was instrumental in trying to help get the ball rolling with Sockasty Rec Commission. Of course, Terry Cooper had deep ties here to Bell & Bell. years ago before his untimely death. And so we thank him again for opening the door for us to be here today indirectly. Exciting opportunity there. In addition, highlighting your Realtor of the Week that'll be coming out this Thursday, who's been very involved in the YMCA. You're highlighting they're really giving back.
That's correct. And we have a very interesting lady whom we are presenting as the Realtor of the Week this week, which is Penny Bowling, who is the broker in charge of Century 21 Bowling. And she has been very instrumental in the building of the new facilities for the YMCA. Very, very interesting lady. I hope everybody will like the article about her. She has a company which is very, very well known in the Carolinas. They came in first in production in both Carolinas for 15 out of the last 16 years.
You're kidding.
And the only one that beat her was Century 21 Thomas won it one year.
Is that right?
Here in North Myrtle Beach.
Area.
So we really do have quite a presence in the real estate community throughout the Carolinas.
I didn't know that.
And in addition to being first last year in North and South Carolina, Century 21 Bowling was also fifth in the nation of all the Century 21 companies.
That is incredible.
So that's pretty fantastic.
I had no idea she was moving that kind of helping move that kind of inventory.
So I hope everyone will enjoy reading that article about her.
That's great. Absolutely. Ken, real quick for viewers who may not, is there a difference between realtors and real estate agents? And if so, what is it?
Absolutely. Someone can take a 60-hour course and pass a class exam and then take the state exam and get a license. At that point, they are a licensee. In order to be a realtor, they have to join a board of realtors, such as the one that I'm a member of, which is the Coastal Carolinas Association of Realtors. And with that membership, I also became a member of the South Carolina Association of Realtors. And with that membership, I also became a member of the National Association of Realtors. You have to be a member of a board of realtors to actually use that realtor logo and the term realtor. And one of the main things that separates a licensee from a realtor is the fact that the realtors do subscribe to a code of ethics that is a nationwide published code of ethics for realtors to go by. And this is a way in which we try to hold ourselves to a higher level than what the law requires. The law is the baseline for acceptable behavior, and through the Code of Ethics and the Board of Realtors, we try to hold ourselves to a higher level than that.
That's tremendous. I saw a great ad on the back page of the classified section in the Herald this week, highlighting, I think it was an ad from the National Association of Realtors, but highlighting the importance that realtors can provide. And this is not a simple transaction for folks oftentimes. There's a lot that goes into buying or selling a home or a lot or any numbers of pieces of real property.
For the average person, the purchase of a home is the largest financial transaction that will take place in their lifetime. So it's very important that as real estate licensees, as realtors, that we do it right. And one of the wonderful things about being a member of the Coastal Carolinas Association of Realtors, which I have been a member of for quite some time now, is that they really are a wonderful bunch of people. It is very rare when I run into a realtor who is a jerk. You know, most of these people are very, very professional, really want to do a good job for the consumer out there, take their job very, very seriously, and this is the important thing. And the whole purpose of the Real Estate Commission and the requirement for us to have licenses is to protect the public, to make sure that we do the transaction correctly when it's such a life-changing decision for most people.
That's a great point, to protect the public.
Exactly.
To protect the public. Those are great words. Speaking of that, speaking of the public, yesterday Don Brook was with us from Coastal Carolina University. He'd been on the Board of Education there in Michigan.
Oh, really?
Speaking of a public body for many years, I believe about 12 years ago. For a period of 12 years, you also had a public position, Kent, I believe, as an elected official.
That's correct. I was representing District 8 of, which was the Conway area, on the Horry County Board of Education, where I was elected back in 1990.
How exciting. What prompted you to run for office, Ken? That's a big deal.
My 3 children went to Conway High School.
Right.
And I had some friends whom I had known for years who have been members of the Board of Education.
Sure.
They said that they needed some help, and I decided that I would give it a shot. So I ran for the position and actually defeated the incumbent chairman of the Horry County School Board at the time. Yeah, I don't know whether they wanted me in or wanted him out, but anyway, I was the one who was elected to the position.
How exciting, Ken. And those are 2 or 4-year terms?
They are normally 4-year terms. I was in the transition period where they were going from the 4-year terms to, which were county-wide elections, to the district elections, and I was representing District 8. So I actually served a 2-year term during that time.
How exciting. And of course, to think about that, I think you mentioned before we started filming this morning that Jarita Postaway had joined the Horry County school system during your tenure there. And I think also you were involved, were you not the chairman of the superintendent search committee for her predecessor, as well as...
That's correct. I joined the Board of Education at a time when there were some changes. We were trying to find a new superintendent, and I was the chairman of the committee when we hired Gary Smith as the superintendent. And at that time, we hired Jarita Postaway to come in as an assistant for Gary Smith.
Right.
And then ultimately she became superintendent, and as my understanding, did a marvelous job for 10 years until she finally stepped down to go back to West Virginia. So she is quite a wonderful woman, and it was a real pleasure getting to meet her.
Absolutely. Ken, are you a Palmetto State native?
No, I actually grew up in the state of Maryland. My father was a physician in a small town called Reisterstown, Maryland. And I grew up there, went to a military prep school, and upon graduation from there in 1964, I went to the Citadel, where I graduated.
Citadel down in Charleston.
Where I graduated in 1968.
Is that right? Had you thought about military service for years growing up, or was it just the tenure there at the military academy prior to the Citadel?
Well, I had been thinking while I was in prep school that I might make the military a career. It was a very trying time back then because it was during the Vietnam War. And that's why I'm very apprehensive sometimes when I go to the reunions that we have, because out of all of my friends, I lost 29 friends and classmates to the war. Out of the top 5 ranking guys in my company at the Citadel, the company in which I was at the Citadel, 3 of them are dead. 1 of them was wounded twice, and I'm the other one. So
out of the top 5,
out of the top 5 in my company. So so I'm very again apprehensive when I go to the reunions because I really miss a lot of those guys, and several of my best friends, my roommate, and so forth.
They've since passed away.
Yeah, well, they died in the war.
In the war, that's tragic.
War, yes.
I'm sorry to hear that, Ken. Did you remain, I think you served for a short stint there?
Just a short time. Upon graduation, I had to finish the summer camp for my commissioning. I went to Fort Bragg for like 8 weeks, and hurt my back at Fort Bragg and got thrown out. So, but up to that point, I had been considering making it a career.